Huh? All right, how about you? I'm sorry, say it again. All right, real quick. All right, man, listen. Here's the thing. I asked you that question, fellas. You guys are here, man. This is my older brother, Eugene, man. We call him Pop. We grew up in Camden, New Jersey. Okay, Camden was rated #2 murder capital outside of Detroit. Matter of fact, it actually hit #1 a couple times. That's nothing I'm proud of. But here's what I'm going to say. When I grew up and there was 5 of us, man, and my mom had 5 kids by the age of 23, there wasn't many things that I saw around me that was positive. When I went out the door every single day, man, on one corner was guns, you know what I'm saying, cats, you know what I'm saying, gangs. Another corner was cash trapping, selling drugs. Every single day. Every single day. That was my options. Those were a couple options. Those were a couple choices. But at the end of the day, fellas, this is what helped me. It started with me. Hold on a second, boss. What started with me and helped me, I'll never forget. I was 9 years old. And I went to church one day. And at the end of church, man, and I'm not talking about being a religious guy, I ain't talking about doing all this, but at the end of church, it was something in me that said, you know what, Donovan, you need to go to the pastor and ask him to pray for you. Because I saw my mom sacrifice. I saw my dad come back from Vietnam. I saw my dad on drugs. I saw my mom struggling. I saw them fighting, having, you know what I mean? I saw it. But I wanted more for my family. I wanted more for me. I wanted more for my community. But there wasn't nothing in nobody I really saw that I can look after. And so I did. I went to the pastor after church. I said, you know what, can you pray for me? I said, because when I grew up, I wanted to help my family. And so he did, man. I thought he was going to pray for me, but he stopped everybody there, man, and he prayed. And at that moment, fellas, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't hear no big, the sky didn't part. I didn't hear no big noise or anything. But after that moment, gentlemen, because I wanted to do something to help my family, I was ready to dedicate my life to something bigger than myself. Because of that, it shaped my choices. Because of that, it shaped my decisions. Because of that, people started coming into my life that started helping me accomplish my dreams. That's why I asked you guys, what is your vision? Where are you looking towards? Where are you going? If you just walk from here and you have no idea where you're going, you'll get nowhere real fast. And so if you're standing here today, before we leave here, and you haven't established at all, and you haven't written down where you want to go, where you want to be, how you want to do it, guess what? You'll never get there. You'll never get there. It ain't just going to happen. It ain't just going to happen. You actually have to write down where in the world you're going. Because as I said, I was 9 years old, man. I didn't know. But I did know I wanted to help my mom. And then after that, gentlemen, I began a path where I started making better decisions. I started doing stuff in school. And then I wound up getting a scholarship, you know what I'm saying, to Syracuse. I say all of this, man, listen, at the end of the day, listen. In front of me, you guys have no idea how great you can be. I don't care what your circumstances tell you. Because guess what? A lot of people look at growing up in the hood as a negative thing. I think growing up in the hood was the best thing. And here's why. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons. Number 1, this is what it taught me. And this is what it can teach you if you're in class, if you're studying, if you're ready to learn from life. Number 1, it taught me how to deal with pressure. I knew when I came home, man, I would flick that light on the light switch, man, and it wouldn't always be on. I knew that sometimes my mom get laid off from work. I knew sometimes the car didn't work. I knew sometimes I had to go next door and borrow sugar. I knew that I may not get school clothes every time. I knew that I can open up the refrigerator and sometimes not see anything. I knew that I can go to school and I may get picked on. I knew it, you know what I mean? I may go to school and then cats start clowning on you because what you have and what you don't. I knew that. So that means that I was able to develop impression. I knew that, guess what? Every day, cats were like, yo, Don, why don't you come do this run for me? Why don't you go do this? Why don't you go do that? But I was able to deal with the pressure. So growing up in the hood helped me develop with pressure. So when I got older and all the pressure started to come, I was able to deal with it because I was already making choices. And that's the same thing where you're at right now, fellas. Growing up in the hood allowed me to empathize with people. That meant that no matter where I went, I can relate to cats. How many guys growing up without a father in your life? How many guys grow up and you only have to put your hand up? How many guys grow up in here, you know what I'm saying, domestic violence, mom and dad, bam. How many guys know somebody close to you that's in jail? How many guys know somebody that's going through poverty? How many know somebody that's on food stamps? How many know somebody ain't got no money in their pocket? How many know somebody that's trying to look for a job, can't find one? I know what that's like. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can dedicate your life to helping not only you, but helping them out. Because when you dedicate your life, your gifts, your talent, your energy for something bigger than yourself, that's when life rewards you back. But if you, guess what? So what happened, right? So a lot of people know, man, I played in high school. I graduated from college, Syracuse University. I got drafted in the NFL, first round, 25th pick overall. When I got to the NFL, I did that because of what happened when I was 9 years old. I didn't want to make it to the NFL so I can get rich, have a big house, have a big car. That comes with it. The fact that I wanted to help my mom, help my family, help my community, that's why that stuff came. That gave me the reason to go out there and grind when I didn't want to. That gave me the energy to make sure I'm going to practice when I didn't want to do my schoolwork when I didn't want to listen to cats that's trying to speak to me when I didn't want to, because I'm thinking about why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing this for somebody like you. I'm doing it for somebody like you. I'm doing it for my brothers who I had custody of when I was in college. My mom called me up one day. I came up from practice at Syracuse. She said, Donovan, I got some bad news. Your brothers Antoine and Chris was at school, and some cats came up to the school in the gym where they was at, and they pulled out a gun on and said, y'all don't do this, then we're gonna shoot you. And out of nowhere, because something was inside of me, I said, I'm living this life not just for me. I said, Mom, put them on the bus, send them up there to me. So she put them on the Greyhound bus, sent them up there to college. I'm just a student. I'm 20 years old. I'm a student, I'm an athlete, but now my brother's coming up. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a friend. Some of y'all 20 years old, 19, 18. And I'm just telling you what I know. Life ain't bigger than you. You're prepared for this. Life ain't happening to you, it's happening for you. The heartache, the situation, it ain't happening to you, it's happening for you. It's only if you're willing to learn the lessons that life is trying to teach you. And so when I made it to the NFL, when I got there, first round pick, 25th pick overall, and they gave me $6 million. And then after 5 years, my contract was up. And they said, you know what, Donovan, instead of you going to another team, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna franchise tag you. That means that we're gonna put a tag on you, the Jaguars said, where you can't go to no other team. And we're gonna pay you, we're gonna pay the top 5 out of everybody. That's out of the top 5 of everybody in your position. So that means in 1 year, they gave me $3 million. The next million, they gave me $4 million. Next million, they gave me $5 million. Why? Here's what the franchise tag said. It said, who's the one person on this team that we can't afford to lose? Not just because of my skill, but because who I was as a man. I was dedicating my life bigger than just me. Now I look around to you and say, hey, how many of you guys would they have given a franchise tag to? How many of them would they say, man, we can't afford to lose you because of your leadership, because of your hard work, because of your communication, because of what you're dedicating your life to? You gotta ask yourself that question. It's not for me to tell you what to do. It ain't for the officer to tell you what to do. It's for you to look in the mirror and say, man, why am I living this life? At the end of the day, what I want to be defined for? Why am I here? And when you define why am I here, then I gotta tell you what I'm going to do. Right now, baby, I'm a motivational message of inspiration and hope to all people in all nations. I want to travel the world speaking. I already lived out one of my dreams, being in the NFL for 10 years. Now I'm gonna go around the world speaking, encouraging, building up. That's what I'm gonna do. I wrote it down. How many of you guys right now got your vision written down? How many of you guys